Hi everybody, my name's Drew and you're watching Drawing with Drew. If you've been following my videos, you'll know that I recently purchased the iPad Air 3 for digital art and I can't say enough nice things about it. But one of the questions that I seem to be getting fairly often is whether or not you should wait for the speculated iPad Air 4 release rather than spending the money on this older model that was released in 2019. So here's what I found out so far as to what people think the iPad Air 4 is gonna be all about. Number one, there's not gonna be any notch in the new iPad Air 4. Well, as you can see in the iPad Air 3, there's no notch here either, essentially. There's just a bigger bezel. And as I've talked about before, I don't actually dislike these bezels. I like having them. I like having a place to place my fingers. And you know, it's easy to navigate. It doesn't look poor in my opinion. I think it looks fine. And especially it's nice having the thin bezels around the edges. So no big deal there. Number two, they're doing away with the tactical home screen button or Face ID, and the new home screen button is actually going to be embedded under the glass. Well, that's not a big deal for me either because I mean, all I have to do is press this button and it's in the bezel. Again, not a big deal if that's what you're waiting for. One thing that could be a bit of a deal breaker for some people is that there might be a larger screen size. Most people are thinking that it could go up to the 11-inch mark. There's been speculations that it will go to a 10.8-inch screen. These iPad Air 3s are 10.5-inch screen, and as I've said in my other videos, to me this is an ideal size. It's really portable. It's not, you know, cumbersome. It's not hard to fit in your bag or bring it with you anywhere you want to. Would it be nice to have a 10.8-inch screen? Yeah, I would trade it probably for this because it is mildly bigger and will give you a little more screen real estate, but I don't think it's gonna be a deal breaker. This one is definitely suffice and I don't feel limited by the size of it. The next update they're saying is that they're gonna do away with the lightning port charging cable and they're going to introduce a USB Type-C. That might be, you know, a big thing for some people, but to me, it's not a big deal. As I mentioned in my last video, I have just purchased one of those little like add-on adapters that fits in here and you can expand your storage. The next thing is that the new iPad Air 4, they're thinking will perhaps have the ability to use the iPad Pro Magic Keyboard, which is a much better keyboard. Those keyboards are hundreds of dollars. And you're not buying this, if you're buying this for art, you don't need to be typing up massive emails or anything on this device. You can still use the regular smart keyboard if you need to. The keyboard on here is more than enough. I've never felt limited from what I've used it for so far without a keyboard. So that, in my opinion, isn't really worth it considering this device isn't overly expensive anyway. And as I've said before as well, that this is actually the refurbished model that I got on the website. So if you're watching, constantly checking the Apple website, you might be able to get a refurb model, which comes just as nice as the new ones, and you'll save a lot of money there too. The next thing is that the new iPad Air 4s will probably be able to use the new iPad pencils, the Apple pencils, which I guess is good because it's the newer pencil. However, the newer pencils are more expensive than the older pencils. I would probably speculate that they will have the charging, you know, similar to the new iPads, which is much nicer when you think of it. You just plug it on the side rather than sticking it in the bottom. But as I've said also, it only takes 15 minutes to charge that pencil for like 3 days of use through the bottom here. So not a huge deal. And I've also heard that other people who have it charging on here don't enjoy that because whenever they put it in their bag, it just comes off. The new iPad Air 4s are speculatively going to start at the 64 gigabyte storage space, which is the same as this. And they will feature the newest A13 Bionic chipset. This is right now currently the newest, which is the A12 Bionic chipset. And this does more than my needs. Like, I don't notice any issues with it. I'm sure the 13 will just extend the life of the device further. So if that's an issue to you, maybe for gaming and whatnot. But again, as I said, this is more than suffice for my needs as, you know, kind of professional style artist or trying to be there. So I'm not trying to prevent you from getting the iPad Air 4. If that's what you want, then definitely wait for it. It's probably on the horizon sometime soon. However, in my opinion, if it's, let's pretend it'll be here in 3 months, then in that amount of time, 3 months, if you work, even if you do an hour of drawing per day, you would be so much further ahead with minimal gains in terms of the device quality than you would be if you didn't wait. In my next video, I'm gonna be diving deep into the Procreate app. I'm gonna just do some demonstrations so you can see how the brush strokes work on this bad boy right here. If you're thinking about getting it for, professional needs is what I wanted it for. I didn't wanna just think like I'm cheating myself by buying the cheaper device, and am I limiting myself? I would say absolutely not. This has been excellent. You can follow me on my Instagram account to see my pictures. I'm still, learning and practicing every day. So I'm not perfect. I'm getting better, I think, but that's where I'm at right now. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And subscribe to see more videos. See you in the next video.